Welcome to Swiss Esports Arena, the best Swiss esports talk show, episode 3. And this will be the first time that we talk about CSGO, but I'm no expert in Swiss CSGO, so I got two people that are experts in Swiss CSGO. I got Lynex and Dance. Dance is currently looking for a team, so if you're a Swiss CSGO org, you should call him up. So at the start, I would like to talk about the state of Swiss CSGO, because what's the state like? Like, is it bad? Is Swiss CSGO a clown fiesta? Is it growing? What's up there? Dance, do you want to start or?
Okay, I can start. Well, as oh fuck this shit.
Yeah, go on.
Yes, as Jamal said, my name is Dance. I'm 20 years. Should I? Also,
No, just go on the topic. I think that should be good.
just on the topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I can start with it. I think the state now it's a bit complicated because since the Valorant came out, some good players are switching to Valorant, you know. So I think the scene got better in terms of some sponsors. The leagues got also better admins, like in Swiss Esports League. Before it was like a mess in the league because every season something was going on teams not playing the whole season, disbanding middle seasons, you know. Then since Rapsy, big shout out to my man Rapsy, the head admin from Swiss Sports League. Since he joined the league got better. I'm not gonna lie. And the thing now is the same problem goes to the other league that is Swiss Hero League. Right now is the bigger league in Switzerland, but sometimes things like in the past keep happening, you know, and admins not doing the justice that they should do. And I think at the end of the day, it's just a waste of players that could be good in the league. And then I don't know.
Like the organization.
I think I will say it again. I think it's not good what I said.
But Linux, can you agree with what he said, or do you have anything to add to that?
I agree with Valorant, especially some players that I personally know switched over now. That will make a short-term problem in my eyes for the top level, especially since now some teams are disbanding, like I said, or new teams will have to form from the players who are still there, who didn't switch over. But I also think it's a good chance for young and upcoming players to prove themselves and get into the top tiers again and try to learn and get some experience from it. So I think it'll take 1 to 2 seasons till we see a certain balance come back again, also in skill level. But yeah, for this season, it will be less good, I'll say, especially since we don't know, is Valorant going to continue? Is it not going to continue good in Switzerland? So yeah, I also agree with what he said about with Ropsy. The guy really did a good job with Cecil. I also think that Hero League is doing an okay job, also a good job in my eyes, but there's still certain things that they can improve on, especially communication-wise. You only get the information like a few days or max a week before you have a game or the complete season starts or anything. And that is very hard to plan and organize with, especially for us as a team. I can only say how it is for us. And we have people who go to study, everyone works. We have schedules to rearrange sometimes. And especially with the Hero League, where you can't move the date at all, we would appreciate it if we knew it a month or 1.5 months or 2 months in advance. So we know, hey, we need to move certain things, games or from other leagues or private stuff. But otherwise, the Swiss CSGO scene yeah, it is okay at the moment, but I think it will be better in 1 to 2 seasons again.
So I wanted to ask about Valorant, but you mentioned it yourself. So do you really think it will have a bad so you think it can have a good effect because it will help young players, but did we lose a lot of good players in CSGO, in Valorant?
Yeah, we did lose some, but the question always is, will they stick to the game? That is something I'm not sure, because Valorant isn't Counter-Strike for me. It's close to Counter-Strike, but it isn't Counter-Strike. Just the thing is that what I don't, my personal opinion is, I don't like Valorant that much because I can't smoke something off and flash me in with one character. Just one can flash and one can smoke. I'm not as versatile as in CS, so that's what I personally don't like. And the thing is, since I think it's going to the same system as League is now, if I heard correctly. So it will only be, you have one central tournament platform, like the LEC or whatever,
Yeah.
and the Prime League especially. And I'm not sure that it will be good for the top level teams, but I'm not sure if it's good for the lower to mid tier teams, because you're not allowed to do any tournaments anymore. Cecil and everyone can't do any leagues anymore. And I don't think that is good for starting with the game. So if they do that, I think people will return to CS, in my opinion. But if they allow to do local leagues like Swiss leagues and everyone could do a league, I think it will be way better for Valorant, of course. So yeah, but I still think we'll see 1 or 2 returns from Valorant back, because it isn't CS in my eyes. And yeah, but it's good for the young players, definitely.
Can you agree with that, then? So will we see some
Of
young
course.
players? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what Lynex said.
Yeah, okay. So another question would be, like, when I watched the Swisscom Hero League in CSGO, like in League of Legends, we had only orcs participating. But in CSGO, we had fucking Casa de Papel in the final. Like I have no problem with the players. I think they're great. Or I think they are great, yeah. But fuck, I hated it that Casa de Papel got into the finals instead of a real Swiss orc. Like, what's up with CSGO? Why do you have so many mixes? Why are there no orcs? What the fuck?
Just the skill. They have even though they are not a team, they play as a mix.
Yeah.
They have more basics compared to the team players, you know. And they're playing together for so long. It's not like a normal mix, you know. They play it for like 5-6 years together. Maybe they can switch one player from each season, you know. But skill-wise, they're very good. They are the best in Switzerland. I mean, if you compare Casa de Papel and Red Instinct, and also Kings, those mixes, they have, in skill-wise, they have the better players in Switzerland, you know.
Yeah.
Some players also come from France. I think one from Casa de Papel, Katop, if I'm not wrong, and the other one from Red Instinct, Fear Off. Yeah, exactly. They are very good skill-wise, and also they have not a lot of experience, you know. That's why they win. They always win, because even though they don't prac like we did and Lynex teams did, like pracking 5 days a week and something like that, they never did that. But when they're playing together, their reactions, their movement, their skill, it's just better, you know.
But
nothing to do against it.
But my question would rather be, why the fuck do they not have an org? Like, why is it that, like, do you think Swiss orgs don't want CSGO teams, or do you think they maybe didn't want to be under an org, or?
Before that, they were playing under Silent Gaming, Casa de Papel, the first season, yeah. And then I don't know what happened. They just left the org. I think, and I don't know the reason, and because they started with Casa de Papel, then I think Silent Gaming picked them up, you know. Then their contract was over, and they started again with his old team name, Casa de Papel. That's why.
And Lynex, what do you think? So why do we have not why does not every team have an org behind them?
Well, first of all, if you look at Kings, like their players play in teams sometimes.
Yeah.
Like they already are under contract, so
Oh,
they
yeah,
can't
okay.
get another contract.
Yeah.
Would be a breach of contract, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And other players are probably, or like Dan said, the mixes, they swap a player. And I think that organizations I would be one, I would tend to look for a stable team that doesn't constantly switch players, and then you have to do new contracts and blah, blah, blah. And it's a lot of work. And I'm not sure if everyone who plays in a mix wants to have a contract and be like bound to the contract. So I think that's also a problem, a reason why they aren't in an organization at the moment.
But what do you think has to change so that we only get orcs in the Hero League? Like change the rules so that maybe players that play in another league can't play in the Hero League? Or maybe that would be even bad because it will lower the level.
That rule already exists, if I'm not wrong, that if you play in the German ESL, you can't play in the Swiss ESL or in French ESL. I think that exists already. I think for all teams need to be orgs, it would need to be first of a rule, but that would make it very hard for Switzerland because then it would be the same as in Prime League. You will need to first find all the correct orgs. You need to let people in. You need to have a good process for that, and I think that would be a problem. And like I said before, I don't think that players, or the majority of players, want to have a contract and be bound to that contract for a year, half a year, or a season, or whatever, and because it is a commitment. I have no problems with it, obviously, but I'm easy with that because I want to play. But everyone has a different opinion there. So for this to change, I think the players and their mentality would need to change because you couldn't just swap players all the time anymore. And then the orgs, we have a lot of orgs in Switzerland, but the thing is, I think Swiss CSGO always, the players want a lot in my eyes because depends on what you do. If you only have an online team, like for the Hero League, you don't need much. You just need the jersey, and that's probably it. But if you have other teams, like the young and upcoming teams, they probably want to go to LAN parties. They want to have some support there, and that's a lot of money in the end that an org needs to invest. And if you don't have the money, you can't just sign a team. So that's also a problem in my eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So that are good points. These are good points. So I would say we are done with that topic, and I would say we could go over to the Swisscom Hero League Season 4. Like maybe that's kind of a repeat question, but I still want to ask it because I think CSGO is ESL's favorite child. No Riot who tells them they can't make a league. It has more prize money than League of Legends. You get international chances in CSGO. It has the real league format with a round robin at the start. You said, Lynex, that you don't think this season will be as good. I wanted to ask, will it be the best Swisscom Hero League season? But you said no, right?
Well, it's not going to be bad at all. Especially since we see new teams now. I think 3 teams qualified in the end again, which I find interesting and good, to be honest, since we'll see new players new in the top tiers. So I think that will be good, and I don't think it will be a bad season. I just think it won't be at the same skill level as the last season, since players stopped or switched to Valorant, and that's just how it is at the moment. I would also like a different format of the seasons, to be honest.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes, because they're doing it the same as last season again. And I don't think with that structure, you don't have the 4 best teams of Switzerland in the playoffs, in my opinion. Just because it's a double element bracket at the beginning, and if you put, it's just an example. If you put the number 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side and the 5 to 8 on the other side, and they all play it out, number 1 and 2 go further, and number 5 and 6 should advance. It doesn't mean that number 3 and 4 are not in the top 4 of Switzerland. It's just that they had the stronger teams in their brackets. But if you would do it as in the season before, where everyone plays everyone, then you know who, in my opinion, who are the best 4 teams to go to playoffs, because you played everyone, and after playing everyone, you have a clear standing who won the most, and like that you can continue. So the format is fine. I just wish it wasn't that way, but yeah.
But I think they changed it up for season 4 again, not like in season 3, but they said once qualified, CSGO teams will compete in a double round robin, so best of one.
Yeah,
right?
I think they changed the playoffs structure, but it didn't change the structure and how to get into the playoffs. So it's and that I find that a bit sad, because it doesn't, for me, it's like you still have 4 very good teams in the top 4, that's, you can't deny it, but it doesn't need to be the best 4 of Switzerland. It could also be that number 5 or 6 qualifies for the playoffs because they have more luck in the bracket or whatever. Yeah.
And what do you think, Dance? Do you think it could be the best season, or do you agree with Lynex that it will be worse in terms of level?
I completely agree with what Lynex said.
Are you agree with everything, like format and all, and level?
Of course.
Oh.
Yes, the man said the right thing. nothing to point about it.
Then one rule the Swisscom Hero League in CSGO has. I think in League of Legends you have to be 16, maybe? I'm not sure, but in CSGO you have to be 18. And I think this rule is complete bullshit, because we need young players. Like, also, Navi has a 16-year-old squad, I think, Navi Junior. And it's important that players start at an early age to get good and all. And in the Hero League you can't have that. I think you both said that we could have more young talent, but we can't have young talent because of this rule. I think the rule is shit. I don't know what you think. Dance, what do you think?
I also think the rule is shit. I remember the first season, we wanted to play with Mush, which is a very good player. I think Lynex can confirm that.
Yeah.
It was 17, and it will turn 18 like, I think, some days or 1 week after the league starts. So
this season.
What? Now the first one. The first season. And then I have a talk with the admin, and he said, well, he's not 18 when the league starts, so he will not be able to participate, even though if he turns 18 in 2 weeks or maybe less, how stupid can it be? And not, I just gave the Mush example because he was on my team, but I know more teams that issue with the younger players, that they were good and they couldn't prove themselves because of that rule. That doesn't make sense when you can go to the major when you are 16.
And Lynex, do you think the same? Do you think we will see young talent even though we have this rule? Like, young talent will be 18, like not young.
Not as young as it could be, I agree. I also agree that the rule is, I would also do it at 16.
Yeah.
But I do understand the rule from the tournament side, from the organization side, because it is a shooter and it's hard to how should I say, it's hard to, if you want to advertise it, it's hard to say that you have 16-year-olds playing it and it should be starting 18. So I don't think they don't want to lower it. I think they can't lower it because of the sponsors. But that is obviously very bad. So I would like to see it at 16 as well. I totally agree with what Dan said, and also with the Mush. That is, it's not a fan of that one, but nothing we can do about it. But I would love to see it at 16 as well. Yes.
I also hope that it gets changed maybe in the future, maybe season 5, who knows? Because even it gives the young players, they aren't very attractive, because why would I get him and then I can't participate in the Hero League with him? Like, I think terrible.
Absolutely.
It's nice that we all agree on that. But would you know some young players that could be good and should get the chance if the rule would be lowered?
course.
And maybe
I know some players.
say some of them.
Neox, Breaker. Neox and Breaker. They were from a recon team before, which was Equinox before we joined them.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong. Breaker is very skilled. Neox also.
Is he 17 now?
Who?
Breaker.
No, Breaker is teamless at the moment.
Okay.
He has no team. I think he will turn 18 this year, or he already turned 18. I'm not sure, but at the moment, at the first seasons, you couldn't play. That's, I think, a waste of talent. You know, Young is really good. I know those two, and besides Mush, but yeah, Mush was on my team.
Lynex, you also know some young rookies that could participate if the rule would be lowered?
All 18 in my... I think I know only 18 and above. And... Well, I only know 18 and above guys, to be honest now. But it would still be better if it would be 16.
Yeah.
Because... only because I don't know them or Dance doesn't know them doesn't mean there aren't very good 16-year-olds in Switzerland. I mean... if you don't start to play, you will never get known. So if you can't even start to play, how will you start to get halfway known in Switzerland? So the rules should be lowered to 16.
Okay.
I agree.
So something I don't like as well are imports, to be honest. Like, I think there's someone that agrees. Like, imports in terms of you can even use them as jokers, which is the worst part. Like, use them for the semi-final, and in the final you won't use them even. I think you have nice memories of that, Lynex, I think.
Very nice memories. Very nice memories.
And now in the online era, it's even worse because you can even use these jokers in the final because they don't have to come to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's bad in terms of, it's not fair, I would say, for the Swiss players. It has also a good part because if you play against good players, you get better. But what do you think about the imports? Let's start with Dance. Because I know Lynex has a lot to say, I think.
Well, it's like you said, it's good for us when good players that are better than us come to join our league or our lands. So you can compete. We can get players that are better than we are. So you only get better when you play against players better than you are. You know. Well, I don't think it's a problem, to be honest. I think we just need, if we want to win them, we have to overcome them. You know, we have to beat them. So we have to train harder. The mentality has to be, you know, we have to have the right mentality. You know, and don't think they will destroy us because they are better than us. They have a bigger name, and some players and some teams go to the game and they already lost before the game started because they're thinking they're gonna lose, you know, just because there's some good name there. And CS, it's all about confidence, you know. And if you're playing with fear, you know, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose for sure. That's my point on that topic.
Yeah, you see it as something not negative, maybe even positive. But Lynex, what do you say?
I agree actually with everything that Dan said, to be honest. It pushes the Swiss scene to a higher level, which I find good.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't like is, like you said, when you only use it for the semi-finals.
Yeah, that's
I don't. It's in the rules. It is allowed. There's no blaming or anything. I just don't like. I personally don't like it if you use your import player for one game or for two games, where you know it will be a harder game. Yes, you will obviously still need to win if you want to continue, and that's also my mentality, because you need to win. It doesn't matter who plays. If you don't win, you won't advance. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But it's just hard if you go into a game and the other teams have an import and he smashes you. It's kind of frustrating afterwards. Because you know that you could have beaten them with their normal roster, normal roster. So afterwards, it is just frustrating, but it's still progress you make. And I personally feel like from last time to this time, well, it happened 2 times or multiple times even, we got better. Also because we played against the import players. Yeah, but there's no one to blame because they're not breaking any rules or anything. They're doing it what's allowed. Yeah, so I agree with Dan's. Just would be nice if you would do it, use it for the whole season and not only for that one game.
Yeah, that I also agree. And also don't like it to use the players just for the after the playoffs, you know, for the semifinals and for the finals. If they play with them, they should play from the start, you know, not only since the semifinals. That's I don't like that, to be honest. I don't agree with that.
I
It
think
shouldn't be possible to do that, you know.
I think this Joker mentality, or this that you can use them as jokers, also is bad for the viewers, because I watch the semi-final, think, oh fuck, I love this guy, he's so good. Then I go to the Hero Fest, to the final, and he's not there.
He's not there. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I want to cheer for the guy. I want to know these 5 players play, and not in the finals someone else. I think that's really bad for viewership wise, personality wise, and CSGO as a whole.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, sometimes they're officially they're substitute players, and I understand that if you can't go to a final because you live in France or wherever, but you played the entire season, that's something else.
Mm-hmm.
But if you seriously only played the semi-finals, it's like, okay, not for me.
Okay, so I think we're done with imports. So I would say, like, so the last 2 seasons of the Hero League were won by Red Instinct, and they won the league back to back. Do you think they will win the league back to back to back, or not? What do you think? Dance, do you want to start again?
It's okay. Well, this season, like I said at the beginning, because of the switch to Valorant, I think I don't know how many players that played in Red Instinct switched to Valorant, but I think one of them is playing in NiP right now.
Yes, Fearox.
Yeah, the Fearox.
Exactly.
Fearox.
I don't know if Dex and Maniac are playing are playing more Valorant than CS right now. I don't know, but I'm not sure. I think this season will be. I have a feeling this season, and that's not why because I'm talking with him right now. But I think this season is Lynex time to shine, and they're gonna win.
I hope.
What I feel, not because we are having this conversation right now. It's what I feel because they have a well-structured team, and I think they will win this season. That's what I think.
That's a lot of pressure now.
Not pressure, bro.
Yeah. From my opinion, I think if they will play, they will still be good. Red Instinct, obviously, because like we said, or like Dan said at the beginning, they are good and they have the knowledge and they are very good skill-wise. But I know from 1 or 2 Red Instinct players, they're not playing active anymore, or like hardly any, and like Fearox switched to Valorant and everything. So I'm not sure if they will win it, but my opinion, they will still be great because they're all good, obviously. I also think that other teams have the chance to get to the playoffs or even win. And hopefully we win, obviously. That's always the goal.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see how the season, who we play against and how we'll play, obviously.
Like
Your games are always so close, bro.
Yeah.
They are Red Instinct, always 2-1, always like 13-16, 14-16. It was last season was that close. So
I think you guys are like kind of like TSM in the back in the days, you know. They were always choking in the semifinals or the finals, and your time will come for sure, and you guys gonna dominate in the Swiss scene.
I hope. Thanks.
Like I think you're the only team that took games of Red Instinct in the Hero League in both seasons. I think even. Could be.
I'm not sure. Maybe in the finals. Were the finals 2-0 both times?
No. In the final they dropped, but in the playoffs I think you were the only ones to get a game.
Yeah.
So we now also got some new teams in the league. Like we got Sparks, Prifu, which I don't know, and the Mega Ballers, which I also don't know really. Do you know them? Can you say something about them? Are they contenders as well?
Well, I know Sparks. They are also practicing. I think they'll be good as well because they practice. Prefu is, well, one of my ex-teammates is playing there, so I think they'll also have a good chance. I don't know if they practice or not, so that's hard to say for me how far they will come, but they're absolutely not bad. And Mega Ballers is, I think, also once again led by DKH. And DKH always manages to get a team that works somehow all the time. And they're not to be underestimated, none of them, in my opinion, because they can all play CS.
And Dance, do you know them as well?
Yeah, I know all of them, and that's exactly what Lynex said. Sparks, they are really into practicing, you know, they have a good mentality, and Recon is a kind of a guy that wants the team that plays, you know, plays a lot and get better. Prefu, they also have good talent there, good players. If they manage to have a good schedule to practice, they're gonna do some damage as well. And also Mega Ballers, like Lynex said, the man, the DKH, he has always good players to play. If he has a team to also to do some damage for sure.
So, if you win the league, you get a lot of prize money in CSGO. But other than that, you also get the chance to play international events. Like last time you had a spot at the DreamHack Open, and now you get the chance to compete, I think, at the DreamHack Open or Mountain Dew League even, I think. I'm not sure, but you get international chances. Do you think that's a big motivation for the teams and orgs? Is that something huge? Is that something where we can say thank you, ESL? Is that really good for our scene? Dance, do you want to start?
Of course. I think it's till now it was the best thing that happened in this Swiss scene in CS:GO.
Okay.
It was the big step to go further, you know, and the big opportunity for our scene. Not gonna lie. I don't know. Red Instinct won. What I think is that DreamHack that Red Instinct should have played is already gone, or they will play it. I'm not sure.
Like, I'm not sure. I
Because
think
they won.
Yeah.
It was. They should have like play in that DreamHack. I don't know if the DreamHack got cancelled because of the COVID situation. I'm not sure what happened there. But
That's
they had the
actually
spot,
true.
right? They had the spot.
Yeah. They should have the open invite spot or something like that.
Yeah, and that I'm not sure if they're gonna still play that or if they're gonna give the spot for other team. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Indeed, that's a good opportunity for all the teams in the Swiss scene to compete against the best players in the world, of course.
Like about the Red Instinct stuff, I asked Swisscom what happened there, and they said because of COVID-19, the DreamHack ecosystem was worse, and they got Red Instinct got a spot at the DreamHack in Hyderabad. I don't know what's that, but it would be online. But because of ping issues, they didn't participate.
Oh,
and they are working for an alternative, and yeah,
that's a waste of a spot. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, agree.
But go on.
The thing with the spot is, I think I agree with Dance. It's the best opportunity you have at the moment, especially in Switzerland. And if you win the league, I find it good that you have the chance to really compete with the best. I don't think they will have many chances, to be honest, because the other teams are very, very good. But the experience you will gain from this is immense. So it's really good, and I hope also because of that orgs will also come more to the Hero League for teams that don't have an organization. And if an orgless team wins, which I don't hope, I hope that an organization will pick them up for future events, obviously, because the organization will also get some good exposure from it.
But our chances are really bad, you said. Like, we don't stand a chance on the international stage. Do you think that?
I don't say we don't stand a chance. It's just like if you compare like only the Swiss top tier to the German top tier, it's still a big gap in my eyes.
Okay.
It's a very big gap because the Germans are going full time in the top tier, and we are not close to full time. Not even semi close.
Yeah.
And that just makes a huge difference. And you feel that. I mean, only when we played the tournament last weekend for Mercury Masters, we played against No Limit Gaming, and we got absolutely destroyed. I mean, we just got run over 16-4 or whatever. So there is a big difference from top Swiss to top German CS.
But do you have high hopes for the Swiss scene? Like I always say, Switzerland.
Obviously.
Like I always say, Switzerland will be the next Denmark because we have the same flag colors. We are both rich, but I think we're cooler. So I'm pretty excited for us. What do you guys think about that, Dance?
I think it's all about the culture, you know, because if you think esports born like long time ago, and especially in North Europe, like in the Nordic countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and also North America, and the mentality is not the same as here in Switzerland or Portugal, Spain, Germany, France, you know. It started there at the beginning. That's why if you compare to Denmark to Switzerland, there's no, you know, the skill level is so high that you can't even compare it. But the country is also small like Switzerland.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the culture that has built there for longer time, you know, since ages, and the mentality of the players, you know. That's why, because they are so good, and also all of those Nordic countries, you know, and then German and French came later because they're and also Russia because they're bigger countries, you know, and maybe in 1 million player, you will get a good player, you know. And if you have like a big country like France, Germany, if you get like, I don't know how much people are in Russia. For sure, it's more than
too much.
Too much, yeah. And if only one good player from 1 million will be pro, so you will have a good scene, right?
Yeah.
And Switzerland is not big, and the culture also is growing up now, but the mentality is still, you know, not the same as the other countries are, you know.
Yeah, the culture is the bigger problem, I would say, because like you said, Denmark is also pretty small, but there's a lot of players. China is enormous, but they have no good players. Like no good players.
Yeah. I think it's about the culture, you know.
I also think it's the mentality of the Swiss players that would need to change, to be honest, to compete in a higher level. Because, in my opinion, we have very good players. We would have more than enough skillful players to compete in top tournament CS without any problems. The thing is that people just don't like to play with each other because, for whatever reason that may be, people just baiting each other, or no one wants to die, or no one wants to make a sacrifice. Like everyone wants to only play his style, and always that way, and it's the only correct way. I think that if we would change that in Swiss CS, that we work as a team, like as an actual unit instead of as an individual, we could have 2 or 3 maybe really good teams in Switzerland, like top teams. But I don't think that will happen within the next half a year, because the good players just don't like each other sometimes, or just don't want to play with each other. I think that's also a problem, that if we would change that, the mentality of each player, we'll also have way more talents. Yeah.
So this drama culture is also a problem that we have. Like recently I saw a tweet. I didn't completely understand it, just someone that was not happy with the Swiss scene. I think it was about drama, so that's also a problem we have, right?
Yeah, the problem also is that people always go behind the backs, and they don't talk directly to each other. They can't say, let's do it this way, or I think you should have played it that way. And then if you say it, people take it like you're being attacked. And you're not attacking them, you are trying to help them or saying, hey, you could play it differently, and then you can just talk it out. It's not shouting it out or being aggressive. It's like, why don't you play like this? And I think if we were to start to do that more and not take everything as an attack on yourself, it would be better and easier for the whole Swiss scene to compete. But yeah, we would need to stop with the drama.
Yeah, the backstabbing.
It's insane.
It's insane, and I've always end season I heard some stories, from players to players, and come on, guys, just try to, like Lynex say, try to talk to help each other, instead of backstabbing and talking shit behind. It's not going nowhere with that big ego, If you play as a unit, maybe we'll have a chance, but like that, no chance. You can give up with that big ego and backstabbing people. You will not go pro for sure.
No chance.
No chance.
So we're almost at the end, and we hit depression level of topic. But is there anything you want to say at the end? Like, do you have another topic you want to discuss? Anything? Like, you can literally say anything. You can advertise yourself, dance if you want, or you can give another topic. Like, I'm open for everything.
What I wanted to say, I started with us in the beginning, but it was what I think it's also a big problem in the scene. It's like the admins are, I give the example when Pre-Fire, which was the name of the first name from the Swiss Sports League.
Yeah.
At the beginning, the rules were a mess. People were always complaining. I don't know if it was the admin that was bad or not. We had some problems as well. Every season was a mess, And since Repsy came in, I think things got better, And even though I see because of that damage from the past, some of the big teams don't take Swiss Esports League too serious, because the damage is already done, and they don't care. They don't have the prestige. Even if they win, for them it's nothing, because the admins made the league be like so weak, And the same happened with the SCL Swisscom with us, previous Silent Gaming, that we got removed from the league. I don't understand the reason why the admin Esin did that to us. It was not right. If you want to be an admin, you have to be like a role model, You have to be a good person. You need to. Maybe SL Swiss should ask Rapsy to give some lessons to the admins. I don't know. Maybe he's doing it for free, because that man has the right mentality to deal all the stuff. Because if you are an admin, you have to see your side and also the player side, and not just here is like that, and we're gonna cancel this team because they did that, and that's not true and not right,
Do you have also? Is that all, or sorry for interrupting?
Yeah, that's all. Sadly, that's all. Yeah.
And Lynex, anything else? Any topic?
No, it's just I agree with Dan's that the Swiss, especially the CESL, they have, in my opinion, they also still have the damage from what was done seasons ago. Rapsy did a good job with getting it onto a good level again in my eyes as an admin. And for the Swisscom Hero League, I don't know what happened with Dance. I've read the tweet and everything, but I'm also like, okay. I'm not 100% sure who's right or wrong, because it's Dance's side is correct for me. Like, why did he get removed? But the thing that I always saw, especially what happened with Cecil before, is that if you don't follow the rule books, someone will cry. If you follow the rule books, someone will cry. You can't win as an admin there, but you can't win as a player there. So it's very hard to make the right decision. I personally would have made the decision that the Swisscom did, but that's me. But I must say I would love to see Dance play, but I understand Dance's side, understand the admin side. I still would have chosen differently, but it's such a hard topic because if you don't follow, everyone's gonna cry. If you follow the rule book, everyone cries, and I think that's just something that, that was classic for Cecil, for the earlier Cecil seasons. That, like I said, the rules were a mess, and then sometimes they were followed, sometimes they weren't followed, and it made a complete fuck up of the situation. And then you couldn't even justify any actions anymore because you were like Lotto with your decisions. You were like bullshit bingo, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that's
You're
sad.
right about the rule book and things like that. But in our situation, it was not like that. It was more like admin waiting till the time expires, not searching the player, not talking to the player, waiting.
That's sad.
Okay, it's done. We'll remove them instead of maybe try to talk with me, or
From
with other
a team member.
team member or Twitter, because Wizek was working that day. He couldn't do this shit, for Swiss Hero League.
Yeah.
And only for some hours we got removed because Wizek didn't knew he had to do that, Nacy did not tell him that. So that's why
sad.
That's sad. That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
And then he says that we are removed just 10 minutes before the qualifier starts. So
that's hard. That is hard. Yeah.
For some unknown reason, that admin doesn't like us. I don't know what is wrong with him, but I think he's not the right admin to be in the Swiss scene. Otherwise, Swiss Hero League will sadly became like Cezl was in the beginning, if things keep happening
like this.
Yeah.
I just think that they would just need to up their communication level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I think that would solve not all, but most of these problems, especially that communicate earlier, communicate faster, and then it will be fine. But especially last season is the best example. We knew when we needed to play our first game against Red Instinct because we started on Twitter. I mean, what? Yeah. We found out we had to play in 2 days because we read a post on Twitter. And then 2 hours later, the announcement came in the Discord. I'm like, wouldn't it be good if you announce it first on Discord and not only 2 hours before you post it and 2 days before we need to play, but like at least a week or two? Yeah. I would like to see the communication just be a bit better there. So especially things like this with Dance and with second code doesn't need to happen anymore. It would up the Swiss skill level again because we just lost, in my opinion, a good team.
So like I said before, we hit depression, rock bottom, but I don't want to end on depression. Like I really don't want to end on depression. So I have a good idea for the end. Then you can advertise yourself if you want to, because looking for team and all. And Lynex, you can Dance here, Lynex there, and Lynex, you can tell us why you will win the league. Like, do you think that's a good end?
I hope we will win the league. If we will, I'll be very happy.
Yeah.
That would be a highlight of the year for me. And for a good note, we will have an announcement soon about our team. I told you at the beginning, we are sadly leaving Babos now, but we will be joining a new organization very soon. And I don't know when this interview will come up, but I hope the announcement should come very soon. So look out for that one.
Good. And I hope you keep working like you did the last seasons. I know you are hardworking, so I'm always cheering for you.
Thanks.
And Dance, what do you want to say? Advertise yourself, or what you can say what you want. Something not depressing, but at the end now.
Yeah, I'm currently teamless. I'm looking for a team. I'm not sure if I want to keep playing in the Swiss scene because all the thing that has been happening, you know. I've been trying for the same years like Lynex is trying, and
Yeah.
and when you are already tired and things like this happens, you know, sadly you will not be motivated to play in the Swiss scene.
Yeah.
I'm looking for teams more in the Portugal scene right now. But if I have a opportunity to play in the Swiss scene, maybe I will give a shot again. But I'm not sure. Not gonna lie, I lost a bit motivation to play in the Swiss scene.
Yeah, maybe only in the moment, and like you said,
Yeah,
you both said like the scene will get better, so I'm
I
sure
hope
you
so.
will find the motivation again.
I hope so as well.
Yeah, me too.
Good. So I guess that's it. So thank you to both of you for being here. Like, it's my first CS:GO talk show, and the first time that you were my guests in a talk show. But I think you did a great job. I'm very thankful that you have been here.
Thank you for inviting.
Thank you
Yeah.
for the invite. It was a pleasure to be with you guys here.
Yeah, a pleasure for me as well. So yeah, to the viewers, go support Lynex and Dance wherever you can. Retweet that looking for team post and cheer
Yes.
for him. And yeah, if you want to watch more great Swiss esports content and the best Swiss esports talk show we have, then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Twitter, where my name is also DjamelEsports. Also follow them on Twitter, right? You see under their boxes, there's the name. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and see you the next time.
See you guys.